Japan is on the verge of launching a major advancement in its airpower capabilities through the operational deployment of the F-35B Lightning II stealth fighter jets, marking a turning point in the country's defense strategy. The deployment begins on August 7, 2025, when 4 F-35B aircraft will be officially stationed at Nyutabaru Air Base, located in Miyazaki Prefecture on the southern Japanese island of Kyushu. This base was selected due to its proximity to key strategic regions in the southwest, especially the Nansei Islands, an area of growing security concern. The F-35B is a fifth-generation stealth fighter with short takeoff and vertical landing (STOVL) capability, meaning it can operate from short or damaged runways and from specially modified naval platforms. This makes the aircraft uniquely suited to Japan's geography, which includes hundreds of remote islands and a dense coastline where infrastructure may be limited or at risk during military conflict. With increased regional tension and rising uncertainty in the Western Pacific, this flexibility offers Japan a critical edge. The introduction of the F-35B into the Japan Air Self-Defense Force (JASDF) is the result of a multi-year defense transformation plan that began with the revision of the National Defense Program Guidelines and Midterm Defense Program in 2018. That year, the Japanese government approved the procurement of 42 F-35B aircraft to complement its existing fleet of F-35A fighters, bringing the total planned number of F-35 aircraft to 147. This acquisition makes Japan the largest operator of the F-35 outside the United States. The aircraft deployed in August represent the first operational F-35Bs to be based on Japanese soil. Manufactured by Lockheed Martin, the F-35B was selected specifically for its ability to operate in expeditionary environments. Unlike the F-35A, which requires conventional runways, or the F-35C, which is configured for U.S. Navy aircraft carriers, the F-35B can be deployed from locations with minimal runway infrastructure. This enables quick repositioning and survivability in case of a regional conflict or airbase degradation. Japan's deployment strategy is not limited to land bases. A central part of the F-35B's future role is to operate from two modified Izumo-class ships, JS Izumo and JS Kaga, which were originally commissioned as helicopter destroyers. These ships are undergoing structural modifications, including reinforced decks and support facilities, to enable them to serve as light aircraft carriers. Once operational with F-35Bs, these vessels will give Japan sea-based fixed-wing strike capability for the first time since World War II. This dramatically expands Japan's reach and strategic flexibility across the Indo-Pacific region. The Nyutabaru Air Base, where the first F-35Bs will be stationed, has been undergoing infrastructure upgrades to support the unique operational needs of the aircraft. This includes new maintenance facilities, updated control systems, and training infrastructure for both ground and air crews. Japanese pilots and technicians have been receiving training in the U.S. as part of a Foreign Military Sales (FMS) program that began following the U.S. Department of State's approval of the F-35B sale in July 2020. The aircraft arriving in August will initially be flown by U.S. personnel, with Japanese pilots expected to assume operations once training and certification are complete. A public flight demonstration of the F-35B's vertical landing capability is scheduled for September 2025, intended to introduce the jet's performance to both the public and local officials in Miyazaki Prefecture. This is part of Japan's policy to promote transparency and awareness around the deployment of advanced defense systems, particularly in areas where civilian populations may be directly impacted by new military operations. From a strategic standpoint, the deployment of the F-35B in this location is designed to improve Japan's ability to respond rapidly to contingencies near the first island chain, which stretches from Japan's southwestern islands to Taiwan and beyond. This region has seen increased military activity in recent years, particularly through airspace incursions and naval movements. The ability to conduct STOVL operations from these islands or nearby naval platforms allows Japan to maintain constant airpower presence without relying solely on large, vulnerable mainland airbases. In recent years, there have been increasing concerns about the security of airbases and infrastructure due to the proliferation of long-range precision strike systems. By dispersing assets across multiple smaller facilities and ships, and by using platforms like the F-35B that are capable of flexible deployment, Japan reduces the risks of losing air capability in the early stages of a crisis. This approach aligns with modern military doctrine, which emphasizes distributed operations and resilience in contested environments. The F-35B also introduces a technological leap for the JASDF. It is equipped with advanced sensors, radar-absorbing materials, sensor fusion, and electronic warfare systems that allow it to operate undetected in highly contested areas. The jet's ability to share real-time data with allied platforms further strengthens Japan's interoperability with partner forces, especially those of the United States. This is critical in potential joint operations involving regional defense, surveillance, or crisis response. By fielding the F-35B, Japan is sending a clear signal that it is enhancing its readiness and adapting to the shifting security dynamics of the Indo-Pacific. The country's defense policy is increasingly focused on deterrence through credible capability, operational mobility, and rapid response, all of which are supported by this deployment. Additionally, the forward presence of F-35Bs increases Japan's surveillance and interception capabilities across air and sea routes near its southern borders. The decision to begin deployment in 2025 reflects the culmination of over 7 years of planning, procurement, and preparation. The jets being introduced this year are part of a larger delivery schedule that will continue over the next several years, eventually supporting continuous rotational operations in the Southwestern Theater. Additional deployments are expected as Japan completes modifications to its naval platforms and further upgrades its airbases to accommodate this next-generation aircraft. As of today, July 30, 2025, the deployment of the F-35B to Nyutabaru Air Base remains on track. No delays or issues have been reported. The aircraft are already in final readiness stages, and the support systems necessary for full operational capability are in place. This development represents not only an enhancement of Japan's Air Force but also a redefinition of its military strategy for the 21st century, emphasizing flexibility, technological advantage, and regional responsiveness in the face of increasing strategic uncertainty.